Tonight, Hurricane Zeta became the 6th hurricane to hit the U.S. this year, and it was the 27th named storm overall. We want to bring in meteorologist Brian McClure now. And Brian, it's been a really crazy season. I know you guys have been really busy back there in the Weather Center, but how does it compare to some other previous really busy seasons, say like 2004?
Yeah, 2004 was busy. 2005 was even busier. It's very comparable to 2005. What I would say, though, is, and an interesting graphic on this that I put together, 2005 had just about the exact same amount of storms. It had 28 versus the 27 we've had this year. But what 2005 had was it had more hurricanes, stronger hurricanes, and you see right down here at the bottom of this graphic, you see right here what we call ACE. Look at how much higher the number was back in 05. What that basically is that's a correlation to how strong the hurricanes are and how intense they were. And they were more intense in 05. So it's been an interesting season in that we've had lots of storms, but most of them have been either small or weak. It just happens to be, though, that some of the stronger ones, like Laura right there, Sally right there, and then, of course, Zeta right here, they just happen to have hit land. And yes, the North Central Gulf region has been kind of the being picked on, kind of like we were picked on in 04.
So, Brian, when we have a really busy season like this year, is there some kind of a driver out there in the weather that makes this happen?
Yeah, there definitely is. Even going into the season, Rick, we discussed how there were La Nina conditions in place. And essentially all that means is there's a cooling of water in one ocean and one part of the globe, and there's warming of waters in other places, okay? So we've known about El Nino and La Nina for many, many, many years. And what we have learned is when there's a La Nina in place, so you've got the cooling of waters in the Pacific Ocean, and this is actually kind of neat, okay? So let me show you this, all right? Here's your warm water in the Atlantic, all right? And then let me point out what we're looking at right down here in the Pacific. Look at that. Wow, look at all that cold water, right? That's all below average water. That's what causes the La Nina effect, and it results in a lot of wind shear in the Atlantic, or I should say in the Pacific, and not much wind shear in the Atlantic, so therefore we get more storms. The other thing is, here locally, what happened was the Bermuda High just happened to set up in a perfect spot for the hurricane tracks to go right up into the North Central Gulf. So you basically could say that what was conducive for hurricanes in the North Central Gulf basically kept them away from our local area here in Florida.
All right, Brian, thanks. And we're going to check back in with you shortly for our Weather on the Nines forecast. And don't forget, if you ever have any questions about the storm season, we've got tons of helpful information on our website, maynews9.com.